D, wait for it, light bulb.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? The term power levels is almost as iconic to Dragon Ball Z than characters like Goku and Vegeta. Even the most unfamiliar viewer probably knows that a character's relative strength is measured by how big their power level is. But what they probably don't know is that the concept of scanning power levels stopped after the Namek arc, in which case a character's true strength was often left ambiguous, but usually easy to ascertain based on just how nervous a character looks when they looking at another character. This, of course, has led to many fan-created guides that try to guess the power level of the characters later on, while official guides were officially released, only to be dismissed later as inaccurate. One thing is certain, Dragon Ball has an ongoing habit of making characters stronger and or weaker depending on the circumstances, while also ignoring some of the more secret powerhouses, either because the author forgot about them or because they chose a life of solidarity rather than constant battle. This list catalogs characters who are actually much stronger than they let on. Master Roshi. Once considered the strongest martial artist in the world, Master Roshi soon hung up the title when he realized that his prize pupil Goku had surpassed him. This was way back in the first Dragon Ball series, during the tournament where Tien was Goku's final opponent. But Dragon Ball Super decided to rewrite things, revealing that Roshi was holding back his true strength, which made him an invaluable ally in the Tournament of Power. The Super manga took things even further by having him square off against Jiren and giving him a hard time. Yajirobe. The portly samurai spends the majority of his screen time chilling around Korin's tower, and any time he's forced to do any kind of work usually leads to grumbling indifference. However, his first appearance in Dragon Ball had him effortlessly defeat and then cook one of King Piccolo's minions, a feat even Goku couldn't accomplish at first. He also managed to take off Vegeta's tail when he had turned into a great ape, where Gohan and Krillin had failed. Had Yajirobe shown any effort towards his training, who knows how strong he could become. Frieza. So it turns out Frieza's defeat wasn't because of Goku's mastering his new transformation. According to Toriyama himself, Frieza possessed more than enough power to take out the Super Saiyan Goku, but lacked instead the fighting experience to win. This notion was explored years later when he underwent a training regimen to achieve a new transformation, Golden Frieza. He may be a strange-looking character compared to everyone else, but he's a strong fighter feared by many. Chi-Chi. Goku's wife spends much of the series doting over their son, Gohan, desperately trying to steer him towards his studies rather than fighting deadly battles to save the Earth. As much as a ravenous mama bear she tends to be, Chi-Chi actually is an accomplished fighter in her own right. Having once faced off against Goku in the World Martial Arts Tournament, she may not have the strength to face off against most of the biggest threats out there, but she's definitely far stronger than Bulma or Videl. But in the Battle of the Housewives, Android 18 surpasses them all easily. Oob. This scrawny and shabbily dressed youth isn't just a normal human boy with an innate talent. He is actually the reincarnation of Kid Buu, whose existence is suggested to be attributed to Goku's wish to challenge the evil enemy again, only under friendly circumstances. After taking the boy under his wing, Goku went on to train with Oob during the final episode of Dragon Ball Z. If we take Dragon Ball GT into account, Oob gets a bigger power-up by merging with Fat Buu, but too bad we never get to see him do anything worthwhile. Baby Pan. Pan was already a main character in Dragon Ball GT, but the young daughter of Gohan and Videl didn't attribute much to the series. In fact, GT's director even stated that Pan was never allowed to be anything except a damsel in distress in order to motivate Goku to fight. Super's Pan is far away more powerful despite her being a baby. Before she even speaks her first word, she's already able to fly into space and cause lots of collateral damage. Mr. Popo. Kami's oddball assistant, whose very appearance tends to stir up controversy, which actually prompted the change to a blue skin color during the show's brief stint on Nickelodeon, is mostly seen as a kindly caretaker. But during his first appearance in Dragon Ball, he completely outclassed Goku during a sparring session. Not only was the young fighter unable to land a single hit, his trademark Kamehameha ended up being nothing more than a smack for the pragmatic Mr. Popo. RL. RL isn't technically a Dragon Ball character. Prior to Dragon Ball, Toriyama wrote the Dr. Slump manga, which was a comedy series centered around the young robot girl. But RL still makes the occasional appearance in Dragon Ball, even in some of the games, so it only seems fair to include her. It's unclear just where she ranks strength-wise compared to the rest of Dragon Ball's cast, but make no mistake, she is quite strong. In her first crossover appearance, RL completely mopped the floor with General Blue, a member of the Red Ribbon Army. Baba. The elderly fortune-telling witch and inexplicably sister to Master Roshi, doesn't possess much in terms of fighting ability, but her powers are still nothing to scoff at, even able to perform feats that the eternal dragon Shenron could not. For one, she is able to bring anyone back to life for 24 hours regardless of how long they've passed. She also commands several powerful deceased fighters, including an invisible man and a mummy. Lastly, she is seemingly immortal, unable to be harmed by bullets, and can freely pass between the living world and the underworld with no restriction. Android 8. The first android to ever appear in Dragon Ball, and was actually referred to as a mechanical man, Android 8 was designed as a weapon for the Red Ribbon Army, but went against their orders as he ended up becoming a kind-hearted pacifist. Much like Android 16, however, he still possessed great strength and would only demonstrate it when his friends' lives were in danger. Interestingly enough, Android 16 was based on a human soldier from the Red Ribbon Army, though whatever connection he had with Android 8 remains unclear. Gohan. Once upon a time, Gohan was groomed to be the new face of Dragon Ball, assuming the role of the main character after Goku's sacrifice in the Cell games. Needless to say, this idea didn't last long, and Goku has continued to earn new hair colors while Gohan remained retired and depowered. But as the Tournament of Power arc in the Super proved, Gohan's tremendous power is still dormant, so if he were to devote his full energy to his training and instead of his studies, he could possibly be the most powerful fighter of all. Whis. When Beerus, the god of destruction, first appeared in the series, it forever shook the hierarchy of the most powerful fighter in Goku's universe, as well as the new threshold the battle-hungry Saiyan strives to climb. But it turns out that Whis was the one who taught Beerus everything he knows, which puts the jovial servant as the biggest powerhouse. This was later demonstrated by Whis taking out Beerus with a single chop during one of the destructive temper tantrums. Kale. Of the two female Saiyan newcomers, Kale is much more timid and insecure than her eager partner, Caulifla. Nevertheless, she turns out to be an even faster learner when it comes to the concept of Super Saiyans, as her first transformation attempt brings her all the way up to Broly's rampaging power. It is unknown if Kale possesses the same limitless potential that Broly does, but when her emotions go out of control, she clearly demonstrates Caulifla in terms of raw power. Krillin. It is often easy to forget that Krillin is even considered a strong fighter, when he is often taken out by most enemies with a single strike, a running gag that Team 4-Star refers to as the Krillin-owned count. But considering that Krillin is an ordinary human, his quick thinking and resourcefulness still put him as a more relevant fighter than his other human counterparts, even able to last against Goku at his best for a reasonable length of time. Broly. Like Frieza, it should already be obvious enough that Broly is a frighteningly powerful enemy. Despite that, it is still often forgettable just how powerful he can get. Tako Koyama, who is credited for Broly's creation, claims that the legendary Super Saiyan is even stronger than most of the newcomers who appeared in Dragon Ball Super, including deadly deities like Beerus and Goku Black. This concept looks to be explored further in the upcoming movie Dragon Ball Super Broly, where his power is reportedly able to increase based on his quick learning during battle.
Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that deep what icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, join me every Thursday where you can check out ranks and reviews, videos just like this.